Welcome back to the class, everyone. We are currently in our second match of 5v5 for this season. We didn't do so hot our first match, but I think that was largely, well, partly due to the fact that there were like a lot of crashes and weird things going on. But this is going to be our opponent today. His name is going to be Jace or Jice something or other. And, oh, actually, I don't want to do that. But it's a fairly even match, similar to the last one. The only thing that does bug me is he has profundity. And on top of having profundity, different from our last opponent, he also has a truckload of GAC Omicrons here, more than we do. He's got him stretched pretty much against all the good characters, and then he's doubled down on like Starkiller and Malgus. We do have him beat in mods across the board, not huge margins, but he also has us beat in relic levels. Actually, 46, that's one of the smaller relic level disparities we've seen in a long time. So that's definitely in our favor, but he also does, and we'll see this here in a second, he has a ton, not a ton, he has one really good Datacron that I just don't think we beat. So he's got Lord Vader here, and then his Lord Vader has the mastery stacking one, the cooldown decrease, but also what's really concerning is 60% deflection. So my plan for Lord Vader for the most part was to use like SLKR or something to kill all the sides, or even Fennec to kill the sides, but Fennec's not going to kill anything with 60% deflection. Even if I had an accuracy error, that would be sketchy. Without it, it's just suicide. I did change a few things on my defense. I actually took C off. I really need an extra Galactic Legend for offense, and he's pretty versatile given the current meta with Malgus and people still leaving JML on defense, which I think is weird, but it's happening a lot. So Savage is going to play with Trey this round, and then we put Gas up top to kind of replace things. But yeah, our opponent's defense, it's pretty stacked. He's got... doesn't have the dash ground, but he does have dash, Starkiller, Malgus, CLS. Like, there's not really an easy team here. Did bottom wall have something between? I mean, I guess Adrad. That's our easy team. All right, I'll take it. All right, that being said, let's go ahead and get to the battles, guys. And we're gonna get started with the battles. And gosh, this is such a fun battle. We go ahead and take in our Vader and Piet. So we have the Super Datacron, the Revive one, as well as the cooldown one. And we play this, I feel like we played this really well. So we're going in, we're Force Crushing, we're getting Merciless Massacre. And the one thing that you really have to pay attention to here, this is why I say it kind of feels cool that we were able to we pull it off, is they all start gaining tenacity up. You can see that on the screen once they get below a certain threshold. One of the really cool things about Vader, though, even without the Omicron, or Datacron rather, his basic is irresistible and always will apply a debuff, even through like Foresight and Tenacity up and stuff, so you can actually still continue to loop around this. And since JML hasn't been brought in below a certain threshold, and actually he might not do it for himself and only for his allies, he doesn't gain Tenacity up. So what we're able to do now is we're able to kind of finesse this in a way where we keep looping back into Merciless Massacre, ability blocking all the really strong Jedi, like the ones that have a lot of hit points, like Jedi Knight Luke, as well as Jolee, while we always try to do the AoE when it's on Grandmaster Yoda, because what I don't want to do is accidentally kill Grandmaster Yoda first, because then if he dies, I have one less opportunity to get debuffs out on the team. And if we're basicking him, instead of AoEing him and AoEing a stronger character, he's taking damage twice, whereas I want like Jedi Knight Luke or Jolee to take damage twice. So we're able to complete this process, or continue this process over and over and over again until we just have the last two. We're in Merciless Massacre. He's got about 41 dots, and we have 41 stacks of Emperor's Trap, and Vader, or JML, just eats it. Undersized 2-man, 77 banners on a Galactic Legend. Say what you about Datacrons, I don't like them overall, but that right there is fun. So there is something to be said about Galactic Legends with Datacrons and non-Galactic Legends with them too. But anyways, this isn't a Datacron stream or a Datacron video. So we're going in against this Lord Vader, and I don't really have a lot of options here. In fact, I don't have almost any options. This Lord Vader team has, I think, 60 or 70% deflection, which if you don't know, that means that special damage attacks are pretty much always going to miss against them. So that pretty much cuts out my Fennec counter as a whole. So like, okay, let's just throw SLKR at it. Maybe he'll kill enough and we can clean it up with something else. And as you can probably see, it's not going very well. And the level 6 this Lord Vader has is the Mastery one. And oh my gosh, is that one better than it used to be after they fixed it. He gains so much damage so quickly. So he immediately kills us there, and I'm like, okay, we're not going to use Fennec Bam anywhere else. Let's entertain this idea. This probably doesn't work, but I want to kind of see, I want to see what happens. Maybe we can get a few kills, and then we can come and clean this with something else. As you can see, Fennec is constantly whiffing because again, she's a special damage dealer and they have deflection. So you're seeing this deflected come up on the screen over and over and over again. I'm like, okay, maybe again, let's see where we can get here. So we go ahead and we're still trying to kill Maul. We put armor shred on just because hitting Maul defense up is without armor shred isn't going to yield much. Deflected again. This is a high amount of deflection. Like during the stream, I wasn't angry. Like this was the expected outcome, was for him to dodge over and over and over. We do kill him, but then Lord Vader immediately kills us because his mastery is through the roof by now. And then we just leave it for now. And I'm like, okay, we'll see where the rest of this battle goes, and maybe we get to clean that up. So we go ahead and take out or go ahead and into their Starkiller team. Not the best Starkiller team, but really what matters the most is my B2 immediately gained turn meter and cleanse his tenacity down before Mara could take her second turn. And that just lets us take control of the whole battle. Like, yes, Stick Ray in there does technically make the team worse, but the opening was the most important thing. We were able to get control. We were able to get target lock on every single character. And we do also they have some Empire Datacron. I don't remember which one it is. It's not the cooldown increase one. Actually, no, it's a Sith one from the third set. I don't really remember what it did. It clearly doesn't matter. It might have been like the defense turns into offense or something like that. But yeah, I mean, this team technically wins, but it's almost never this clean. Like this was a really stinking clean fight. If you want to see a more realistic view of how GG does versus Starkiller, check out my last battle. And yeah, it's a little bit more accurate. So we go ahead and mirror the CLS. We both actually have a smuggler. Both me and my opponent here on our CLS mirror, we both have the smuggler Datacron. I really don't like. I'm sure it helps, but it doesn't feel like it does much. They shoot my Han first because their AI is dumb, as it kind of usually is, and then we kill their Han and kill the Chewbacca and go on with our day. Other thing that was really cool that happened, and we actually just made a video about this, I think last week, about low gear teams that have a lot of value, and this was one of them. We're taking in our Gear 11 Aura along with our Gear 12 Mando and our low relics on Grief and whatnot. We get contract instantly. Mando snipes out their dash, and that's really all the damage they have in general. So now, I mean, now we just wipe the floor with them. There's really nothing they can do. Nest sometimes will have enough damage to actually get a really clutch kill on someone, so I'm a little worried about her. But for the most part, we're just kind of biding our time. Maybe we can get back. We're going to need to get back to another Annihilate. Not just because Nest is really tanky, but on top of that, Vader would revive her, because I'm pretty sure this dash also had the Omicron. So, we're going around on things, trying to get back to Mando's ult before Nest just clocks someone here, which really kind of scares me. Luckily, Mando's able to get to his next turn. Nest is out, and now that's really the win condition. They have no damage now, and on top of that, we probably have enough tools to just kill them, even without having to use all of our fancy annihilates and stuff like that. I gotta look into Aura's potency. She never, ever lands her stun. I mean, it's kind of whatever, but at least once would have been nice. I even asked chat during this battle, I'm like, does the dash team have some form of tenacity? And I don't think they do, so my aura just is not great. So we go ahead and annihilate Queel, and that's pretty much a match. We could probably just auto from here for pretty full banners. IG's pretty easy to kill once Queel is out of the battle, which that is the case. And wow, we're doing decent damage against relic characters. 65 banners, can't really ask for much more than that. We're gonna go ahead and take our C versus the Malgus team because I wasted my SLKR on the Lord Vader. We took in a bunch of Relic 5 Dark Side characters because I wanted to keep. I really like my Datacron actually for C. It has some good recovery on it, and on top of that, it has the extra 6% ult charge for every time they gain it or whatever. And Malgus does kind of scare me. I want to know that I can annihilate him without getting like ability block and cooldown increased and all that nasty stuff. So luckily, none of that happens. But like Talon and Bastila Shan Fallen were really close to taking a turn. So we're able to get rid of Malgus that way. I think Talon just died because she was soft, so that was fun. That reminds me, I need to remod my Talon actually to be tanky. I currently have her modded for offense, and that just kind of seems pointless. But anyway, so what we do, this is important. You want to make sure not to kill Bastila Shan Fallen right now, because eventually Malik's tenacity will get really high, and you might not be able to land shock and kill him, so you want to be able to annihilate him. So don't kill the other person that's with him. We go ahead and take our Bad Batch against Adrad here, and this has been pretty reliable for us in 5v5. I actually can't remember. I don't think we've lost it yet. But gosh darn it, does it get close sometimes? Yeah, so we land all the stuns, we get a bunch of exposes, we get rid of Cassian immediately, and I'm one of the things that I've done before is I've always gone right after Adrad, and I think there's a little bit of folly in that because he's so tanky that it's hard to kill him. So what I'm trying to do here is kill all the ads that aren't named Jin because we can't kill her while Adrad's still alive. Then go after Adrad, and then obviously go after Jin. So which is what we do. We kill all the ads, and now we have to deal with Adrad himself. His tenacity, his base tenacity is stupid high. It is so high. Even like Bad Batch have like 2, 3, 4, depending on the character, ways of gaining potency, and gosh darn it, they just, also almost killed my hunter there, so that was really sketchy, but we're able to recover, but gosh, that was really close. I don't know if I need to, like, put protection on him or something for those exposes to not do as much, but yikes. Obviously, ends up not mattering here in the end, and then we get 65 banners, because Bad Batch have really, really good recovery. So now we need to take out the raid team, and I was a little bit divided here about what I wanted to do, because I'm like, okay, so we could attempt like a Lord Vader cleanup, because JML doesn't really care about dodge, and they really don't have any good characters left except Lord Vader himself. So maybe, but I ultimately just decided against it because I have nothing to really clean up Rey. So if even if that worked, even if JML worked over there, we would be kind of host. So we go ahead and take in JML over here, and I give them a really good team, like Cam, Jedi Knight, Luke, Hoda. Like this is a really, really good JML team. So we're able to take control. This Rey felt really tanky, like, and also, so hubris got the better of me here, I guess. At a certain point I was like, oh, let's try to recover protection banners, because that should be pretty easy. We have Hoda here, so for now until pretty much the end of the battle, I'm just calling in Hoda, and shocker, Hoda doesn't deal much damage, even with the leader ability. It seemed like, I know that's a base value for everyone, so it can't not deal different damage, but yeah, so Rey ends up getting into another ult, which was not ideal. We could have killed her if we were focusing this correctly, if we were like calling in Cam or something. And like, gosh darn it, like this I wanted to save banners. I didn't want to lose them. But yeah, eventually we just keep calling Hoda's basic and don't really get anywhere with my protection recovery. I'm like, she's gonna get to ult again. Luckily we do kill her and get 61 banners on her, so it was folly for our protection, at least that round. I feel like we've done that another one. So we get the ships now, and he actually did cheese ships. He took both Profundity and Executor on offense, so he can get through pretty much anything and everything, assuming he actually gets to ships. And our opponent actually did stop by in the middle of our match, and he seemed pretty cool. He did mention in it that he's taking JC a little bit more relaxed nowadays, and we actually looked at his old lifetime banner score, and he had a really good lifetime banner score. So he at one point definitely was doing JC very seriously, but so he's gone a little bit lax now. But so this is going as normal. We're able to kill TIE Bomber before anything at all happens. Spy comes in, pretty much nuke their Inquisitor ship, and then I don't want to bring in Soldier just yet because I want to leave one character around so that we actually have someone after Thrawn gets their ult, which is now. That pretty typically happens. And yeah, like I said, we just bring in them and they're dead. So very nice. 65 banners, pretty standard for Malevolence. Gonna go ahead and take Rebels versus First Order, and this one's like slightly scary because First Order really bad on defense. Like we were talking about in the Gambit server, a few of us, it's probably the worst option to be on defense nowadays. Not just because it's terrible, but because the ceiling that it beats on offense and it doesn't hold against anything. That being said, if the AI decides to magically play this battle correctly, you're hosed. Like if they hunt MILF and just go right after her and just, again, the AI isn't programmed to do that, so it seems to be random, but the thought of it actually happening is a little scary. Obviously, in this battle, it doesn't. We're able to do things, and this is, I will say this, you want to try to time your cleanses with the Millennium Falcon a little bit here. I specifically held it back because I know that every single time we touch that Sith Bomber, we're gonna get, it's not a thermal, it's a concussion mine. Whenever the concussion mine goes off, we get dazed. So I have a few cleanses on this team. I think Cassian has one, Millennium Falcon itself has one, Home 1 has it. So again, I'm trying to save the cleanses because I know we're going to get stuck with days, and I do not want the Millennium Falcon to be dazed. Also, the Sith Bomber is super annoying. I'm like, just die, dude. Like, this isn't even your faction, which I guess that's kind of a testament to him. Maybe if we get the Ravager one day, he'll end up being really cool and really good and stuff. But for the most part, he's just being annoying right here, and then we kill him and we're fine. And now, speaking of annoying fleet battles, we have to do First Order versus Resistance. I think we've lost this once. It's kind of straightforward, but dodges can really screw you if they happen in the right time. We go after the bomber just because it's going to keep taunting. They hard focus down my my tie, and that doesn't typically happen. And they daze my silencer. I hate it. I hate daze in fleet, man. It's Negotiator already does it. I don't need another fleet to do it. So we're dazed, and gosh darn, I need a gauntlet for first order. That's what I need. But we are able to take down their tank, and that's really where I'm still very comfortable with this, because as long as we're killing their units as they're killing our units, things should be fine for the most part. We go ahead and clear the foresight off of everyone. I can't call silencer to assist still, and just trying to chip our way off of Sarge here. He doesn't have crit immunity, so we go ahead and use the big hit, and then we lose our tank. Like, Poe's doing way too much damage. I'm like, all right, let's go hit Poe. But I'm fairly certain, like, he's going to start dodging all of my hits. I'm like, okay, also super annoying. Get Poe down, so that's nice. But now we have to deal with Millennium Falcon, which shouldn't be that bad. By now, our silencer has built up a decent amount of damage with everything he's doing. That hit did not do as much as I thought it was going to, so that was very nice. And again, with the amount of damage we have, the health steal on top of it is also going to make a pretty big difference. So that is the end of the match, and our opponent, he went in and he only took a few stabs at, I think he one-shot my Savage team, so I'm sure that was educational for him. I'm not sure. I mean, that team's pretty brand new. Really, any team with Savage is brand new for 5v5 right now, so hope we got something out of that. And they tried a few times versus Lord Vader. I don't know if he was out of GLs or if he just, like, looked over all over the board. He's like, that's not really how I want to spend my Saturday. But at the end of the day, he didn't attack, and we worked for a win, even though he didn't put in a ton of effort on offense, and that's fine. That's no shade against him or anything. Everyone should play the game they want to, but that is going to be it for today. Pretty big highlight, Vader being able to kill JML, so I'm going to remember that one. As always, thanks for watching, and stay awesome.